What's good, everybody? It's your boy Hans.
This is Tristan.
Welcome to the Hans and Tristan podcast. Thank you for joining us once again. In the midst of all of that's going on in this country, thank you for taking time to listen to us and our thoughts and feelings on everything here and there. But with that point, though, I do want to say, please remember to take time to take a break because in the midst of all of this, I even know when we were talking off air, Tristan, you even said that you just need a break. You need some time to not consume.
I just need, that's why I haven't watched the news, and I try to be mindful of even social media because I'm like, I don't want to keep putting this stuff into my psyche. I understand the struggle. I understand what we need to, do. I understand the changes that need to be made, but also understand I have to protect my mental health and well-being since I do help others. I can't be in a disarray if I'm helping others. So, yeah.
Definitely, you have to protect your peace. Shout out to Halcyon Living. But I do agree with you. I know the mantra that has been going on for me in my mind, and the array of things that I have going on right now, is to take a breath, and that to me I extended that term to more than just the physical act of taking a breath, but also the mental act of taking a breather, just to really refocus and ground myself. Because as you can see, there's so many things going on right now that can just sweep you away. And when you actually get the chance to slow down, you won't even realize where you're at. So
It's like being in a tornado.
yes,
So many components that are going on, and then we still have to live life in the midst of all this mess.
exactly.
And life in and of itself brings its own shit.
Mm.
So yeah, just trying to, like I said, stay grounded and stay informed. So I'm glad.
Yes, yes. So guys out there listening, remember to take your little mental health breaks, take time. I promise you, there's always going to be news coverage on it. You're not going to totally miss out.
At
So
all. At
uh,
all.
understand breaking news is also not always the truth. I remember Denzel Washington said it, there's always a media lately has this trend of being first rather than being right. They value being first rather than being right. So understand just because you may miss the initial reporting of some type of news doesn't mean you actually miss the facts. So
Right.
just something to
The whole story come out a day later or 2 days later. The whole entire story.
correct.
And Denzel, he don't be telling no lies, honey. He be knowing.
You said who?
Denzel.
Denzel. Oh, hey man, listen.
My homie said biggest crush on Denzel Washington, honey.
Used to? She don't have no crush on him?
I mean, she might still do. The whole generation of women from, have a crush on Denzel.
Come on
From
now.
the moment he came about in Glory with that one teardrop, I was like, I get it. I get it.
I think that's a significant moment in Black history. That glory scene when he's just, you see the scars and he's looking over his shoulder like.
Listen, even I was like, okay, I see you, boo. And then he had a son that looked just like him.
Yeah. That's crazy though. If I'm a child of somebody who's considered the greatest in their area, like I wouldn't even touch that realm. That's just me. I think of, Michael Jordan's sons.
But
like,
you brought that to my attention when it was LeBron and his son.
mm-hmm.
And then he, later said in the interview, I remember you telling me, he kind of regret naming his son after him.
Correct, yes.
And that whole component. So, because, I don't know. But, I mean, I get it. Like, you're like, I don't even, like, them are some big shoes to fill. And you don't want to live in someone else's shadow.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, he is under the watch of the public eye more than anybody, just by virtue of being Denzel Washington's son. So he doesn't get the luxury of a certain level of privacy that, we have, that we're afforded. So as a parent, you have that responsibility of parenting your child to how society treats them and accepts them, right? Case in point, Black parents. But anyway, you have that responsibility to parent your child and raise them and to equip them with the tools necessary, to do that. And you don't want to hinder them in any way. The example you give with LeBron is a great one. You don't want to set your kid up to have a complex or anxiety of filling my shoes. No, son, I did what I was supposed to do, and I excelled. You too can excel in whatever you want to do. So
Absolutely.
definitely things that come to mind. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. But we just touch
At
on
all. But we,
everything.
we
That's what
get
we
we
do.
get sidetracked. You know what? I get sidetracked very easy.
Yeah.
I chalk that to my
It's all
ADHD.
good. It's all good. All good. So I was watching a video on social media that honestly brought a tear to my eye. And there hasn't been a video on social media that has done that. Honestly, no, let me not say that. The George Floyd was pretty
I
hard to
didn't watch it.
watch.
I refuse.
Yeah, it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. But I guess I say a video that didn't involve a black person dying. Let me say that. A video that did not involve a person of color dying or being abused by the hands of those that are sworn to serve and protect. But it was a video of a little boy, and he was bouncing his basketball in his driveway, shooting hoops like any regular young boy would do. And off the screen, you see a police cruiser drive by, and as the police cruiser is driving by his driveway, he hides behind the parked car. Um, Brought tears to my eyes because that maybe 15-second long video encompasses what we're fighting for and the black experience.
Exactly. That people fail to realize that it's real. These are the people, and I said this off air, these are the people we're supposed to call when we are in trouble.
Hmm.
The same people that we're supposed to be entrusting in our communities to protect and serve us, not themselves, us. And for them to now resemble the Grim Reaper, for, like it's crazy. Like you shouldn't have to hide from people who are supposed to protect you. And I think they got so off task in an actual mission is like catching criminals, but everyone's not a fucking criminal. And guess what? Even criminals don't deserve to die by the police.
That's definitely true. And if we really want to dive deeper into it, we'll start to look at the founding morals and culture of the police system. So if we remember, it was definitely an all-white entity. Uh, Back in those days when it was formed, we didn't have equal rights. We weren't considered as people. We were considered as property. So if this institution that's founded to protect people has the roots of valuing white people's lives more than anybody else, what makes you think something's going to change?
Right. And
Um,
the whole purpose of the culture, well, the whole purpose of them actually being implemented was to catch slaves.
it, See, I was getting there, but you beat me to it. But that's exactly it. No, no, no. You're fine. You're fine. Listen, you.
The whole point is to catch slaves. That's the root of this culture. That is the origin of this academy, fraternity, whatever the hell they want to call themselves. Like that's
Hmm.
the root and the origin of them. So at the end of the day, if that's your rooting and your foundation, you think that's not going to trickle down?
That's exactly right. And if we want to be, if we want to keep going there, it's to me amazing how people tend to ignore some similarities and just some straight up wrongdoings that happen in that culture and in that entity that's sworn to serve and protect, that they just seem to just cast aside. Some relationships with organizations that they shouldn't be aligned with, that they just cast aside. And I'm speaking like the Confederates, like all those organizations that align, I'm sorry, with the Confederacy, like police stations in different cities have a history of aligning themselves with those
They
organizations.
parallel. They're synonymous. Like,
Exactly.
hell, you just take off your police uniform and then you put on your white fucking hood and cape and coat and shit. Like, it's the same bullshit. It's just like you said, like, it's still rooted. You're still affiliated. And hell, you still running these same organizations, but then you come over here and you think, I'm going to believe that you have the best intentions for me. And like I said, it's like, why is it black people who are being killed? Like, you're not gonna say and tell me a motherfucking white boy who shoot up a church, y'all can take him in peacefully with like not wanting hair on his fucking head, you know, out of place, but a motherfucker who sleeps in a Wendy's parking lot is a threat. What? Like,
All right.
how, Sway? How?
The same guy who said, all right, you keep my car, I'll go ahead and walk home. But nah.
But my thing is, at that point, no crime was committed. Yet you're still harassing me.
All right, forcing him to take. Anywho, that wasn't even my point. My point was that video, less than 30 seconds, is a small microcosm of the Black experience. And I think for those of you who are still struggling to understand how we're feeling, what we're going through, why we're so angry, why the protests are still going on, that video sums it up. Remember, children, especially, I mean, that child in that video probably, Tristan, had to be at the most, that kid had to be 7 years old at the most.
And kids don't lie.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. So if you know, like we know with therapists, the developmental, cycle of kids and how their brain works and functions, that is an instinctive reaction for him. That is an instinctive reaction for him.
Absolutely. And it should not be. And that's the sad part. Like, again, my child should not be scared of the police. My child should not, but then think about the whole culture of police. Not even just killing, but these motherfuckers like even hide to try to catch people speeding. You're hiding to, like, you're so consumed with catching crooks that you forget to protect and serve.
Mm-hmm.
You're so hell-bent on being fucking top flight security of the world that you're not even thinking that, okay, these people are out here really looking for me to protect and serve my community. Everything is not always about, okay, let me go catch bad guys, because guess what? Even bad guys can be good people.
That's facts. And
but you have brainwash bullshit in your head. It took cops off air for the first time ever.
Yeah, it happened last week. They canceled Cops and Live PD. Live PD though, that show should be under investigation. So I forgot the name of the person. Crap. But anywho, somebody brought to air, and I think it's some type of reality star or celebrity or anywho, and he said, basically saying they weren't supporting that network because of what happened with Live PD. So Live PD is a show very similar to Cops. They follow cops around, blah, 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 videotaping what happens. So apparently there was another African-American man who was killed at the hands of the police while they were filming Live PD. All of the sudden, Tristan, there's no footage. The tape goes missing. It's destroyed. Really? If that's not the definition of a cover-up, I don't know what is. You mean to tell me a funded show by a network that has been putting on episodes for years.
A whole camera crew.
All them cameras.
Not only do you have footage, but you have witnesses.
The footage is gone.
But that means nothing because, like you said, you see these mass killings. Like, you see these killings of people, and they're recorded, and it's crowds of people watching these officers kill people, and it still takes us fucking rioting and looting for them to come to justice. So what the fuck does that take? The system's fucking broken. So now you see why the little 7-year-old boy is hiding. Exactly. Because the motherfuckers who are supposed to protect and serve are fucking monsters.
No, and That's facts. And I was just like, why isn't there a investigation going on to that? That's clearly
Who's
tampering.
gonna
Like,
investigate them? They gonna
Phil,
investigate themselves?
that's no, and that's one of the problems of the system. Like, the system is so complex. It's not going to happen with our president standing and bloviating about, yes, I
It's not gonna
support
happen with any
police
president.
reform.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because guess what? The same people who pay the DA is the same motherfuckers who pay the police department. All that shit is fucking federal, fucking state, local funding. All of them motherfuckers are all in cahoots. So how in the hell are they supposed to investigate themselves?
But that's the problem, though. We
There's no
don't.
checks and balance. There's no real checks and
I was
balance.
about to say, you took it out of my mouth. So there's no balance. There's no check for them. There's what they'll do is this, right? And actually, a former President Obama brought it to my level. Like, so our council, right? Our city councils and our local elections, that's what actually decides what happens with our local police department and everything
Right.
like that. So oftentimes in response to any major outcries like that, what they'll do to kind of prevent another outcry from happening in their district or in their city is develop some type of committee, right, to oversee any issues that may happen. But the committee is
Hey,
exactly is made up of themselves.
it
So
ain't you.
we not on there.
We
So
didn't even get the invite.
what we fail to realize is that they're setting up systems that continue to benefit them and disenfranchise us.
Exactly.
Um,
But that goes into the whole bullshit that we was talking about earlier in regards to again smoking mirrors, where they're just doing shit to appease the masses, but no real changes, like the ancient mama or whomever the hell ever, and
Uncle
all the
Ben.
other get them too. All that shit. No one asked for that shit. You knew that shit was racist when you fucking did it, but you still did it. So now you want to change it now because of what the fuck is going on. That's why I'm like, all these companies can kiss my black ass. Like I go to Amazon, they got a whole fucking African American catalog now. Really? Goddamn Amazon?
They have an
I'm not
African American catalog now.
fucking Netflix. That's what it is. Yeah, Amazon too. I went on Amazon. They got a whole, oh, we stand with Black Lives Matter. Check out these items. Fuck you. Was it a
Netflix does have that though. I did see that. I did see
right? And
that
Netflix
because
got all these, and now all these African American movies. It's just like, listen, miss me.
for me, I'm just tired of it. And I'm waiting for some real change to kind of have to happen. I'm tired. Like, listen, I'm happy that people are getting paid leave for Juneteenth, but that's not what we asked for. And I don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful. I'm really not. But I'm also not phased by this change. This change that's happening like this, that's not the type of change we're requesting. The
Right?
type
And
of
half these
change
people that are gonna be off ain't going to work any goddamn way.
the type of change that because they're filing for unemployment because of Rona. So the type of changes that I'm looking for are changes that are going to break down this system and make it vulnerable. That's the type of change that I'm seeing. That we're going to start to look around and see like, oh my goodness, like this judge here who's been sitting here for 20 some odd years is actually playing a significant role in mass incarceration and we need to get him out. You get what I'm saying? That's
Right.
the type
Not
of
only
change I'm
that,
looking for.
but also transparency because these systems that they put in place are not transparent. We don't even understand how they function and work. We have an idea, we have a concept how they should, because
Hmm.
everybody took American government. However, that's not what's going on. They are
Exactly.
not transparent in their moves or their agendas. So miss me again with the fucking smoking mirrors. I don't care shit about that because it's not making a change. It's not going. The syrup and the pancakes ain't killing us. It's the fucking.
Actually, I don't know. We like to eat unhealthy, Tristan.
I know my stomach. I tell you, my
We
stomach been fucked up.
we
Okay.
like, we like to eat unhealthy. We like our sugar,
Listen,
like our
that's
sweets.
beside the point. Okay. We choose that lifestyle.
Okay, it wasn't thrown upon us. Is what you're saying?
Exactly. I
That's not
choose
true,
this
Tristan.
lifestyle.
Food
I
deserts are in
cook.
predominantly black communities.
I know. What I'm saying is, but I want to eat some goddamn pancakes. That's what I'm going to do. But I shouldn't get fucking shot, fucking sleeping in my goddamn car
Or going jogging.
or going fucking jogging. Did you see the one where it's about the I guess some guy, it was like a year ago. A young man was trying to jump a fence and the police tased him while he was trying to jump a fence and he fell on his neck and was paralyzed. So now it's like
No.
the media is bringing about all these situations, you know, of course, just to stay current and relevant. So, and the media can suck a dick too, because now you're here using, now you're benefiting off of our death. Now
Mm-hmm.
you're making a mockery of our death to make fucking headlines and fucking, like you said, breaking news, because you're sitting here bringing about all these situations. A year ago, a young man was tased. So why are you sitting here using our struggles to motherfucking make headlines?
Clickbait. Ratings.
Right. That's why I say, like, that's how I don't watch the news. Because fuck you. You're not telling me nothing that's really going to benefit me. You're just using what we're going through to benefit and self-gain and make headlines and get more views.
As they always been, profiting off our struggle.
Absolutely. But hell, how many black news anchors you see out there? Man, kiss my ass.
That's true.
Don't get me started. You know my stomach hurt.
I would do that. But the last thing I will say is this. I want to know who your president is talking about when he referenced Americans. So he basically had a press conference at the White House where he planned to sign some type of bill for police reform. What does that mean? That's such a cliche term. What
They've
does
been
that
reforming
mean?
for the longest.
What does that look like? Just like the war on terror. What does that mean? What does that look like? But anyway, I won't go there. But in his little speech and little publicity stunt that he loves to do, he starts to state uh, Americans need the police. Americans think police do a great job. Americans love, like, all of this. And all I could think about is, who are these Americans that he's referring to? Because I don't seem to align with all of these characteristics that he's stating. So I want to know, like, am I not American? Like, who are these? And I mean, granted, I wasn't born in the country, but still, who are these
I
Americans?
wasn't born here neither, but we got our paperwork. Just like his raggedy ass wife. She got her green card. Miss me, okay? I'm not even trying to hear that, because he comes from goddamn foreigners too. His grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
sir, you got rich because your grandfather ran brothels. Kiss my ass.
I
Miss
think, random question. I know it's off topic. How do you think he's gonna go down? Meaning, 10 years from now, are they going to whitewash his presidency, or are they going to be more transparent in regards to the state of the country during his presidency? How do you think his
say they, who is they? Those who write
history
history books?
history? I mean, we know those who write the history books definitely are going to
They're gonna
whitewash
do
it.
the same thing they did with every fucking other disgusting president. Nixon and all them, they're gonna do the same shit. Yeah, they're gonna make that little fucking History Channel side movie, all this other stupid shit. But when they teach it to the rest of our children in school, they're gonna teach fuckery. And
I'm
you
just
already know it. It's the same shit we always learn. It's the same brushed over bullshit about like Abraham Lincoln and every goddamn body else. And you know, it's not about truly educating people, because that will mean that they're empowering our children. And they don't want to do that. They want to keep them as sheep. So they give them just enough information to make them feel like they know some shit, make them feel like they're learning. That's all it is.
all right. I guess I just wonder what they're going to accent as his one critical mark. So, when you go through history and they present you the presidents, they talk about the quote unquote good that they done, and then like their bad mark or things that they struggle with, right? I wonder what his quote unquote critical notation will be. So, like, I know for President Obama, one common narrative or trend is that his foreign policies, yeah, and his foreign policies and Obamacare were definitely,
Every president and first lady has a platform or a task that they have going into office. Where Michelle Obama, she's going down and she's going to be known for her attack on childhood obesity.
mm-hmm.
Where Obama did the Obamacare. This is His main platform was a wall,
Mhm.
which he did. Like, you want a wall, okay? You didn't get your wall, and you want a wall where there's already a wall. But we ain't gonna go there at all, okay? But that was his main mission, and he did not succeed as of yet. So I don't think it would be anything significant in regards to, like you said, Abraham Lincoln freed the slave.
Yeah,
And
but he
you know,
really didn't. But whatever, you know.
at all, we know the true story. But
Yeah,
we, again, with the storybooks is teaching our babies and what the truth is are two different things. When you write the stories, you can change them however you fucking want to. They
mhm.
might give fucking Trump a fucking cape or some shit. Who knows?
Make him the superhero. He's the one that brought our nation together.
Exactly. He beat Corona.
Right.
Like, miss me. Like, you never know. But we don't write these books, which is why it's imperative to for us to go back to what our ancestors did. You know, word of mouth, telling stories, and keeping
Hmm.
our history alive. Because our history and their history, as you can see, are two totally different fucking histories.
That's facts. That's facts. But I just wonder about that. I wonder how they're going to write his story because clearly we don't get a chance to write it.
However, fucking,
Um,
I ain't gonna read it.
we lived it. We don't need to read it. We lived it. Just
Live with that idiot as
we
president.
lived it. Hopefully we survive it the way it's going down.
And the
Hopefully
bad part is, I live with that idiot, and I know what his wife's vagina looked like. What the
right.
fuck?
We've seen his wife.
That's my first lady, okay? I don't know what your tits. I don't want to know what your tits look like. I'm sorry. I'm
We,
sorry. I don't.
we know his wife.
Very intimately.
Biblically.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
But we'll see. We'll be around. We'll see.
We'll see what they say. Anywho, guys, thank you for joining us. Once again, if you don't get a chance, look up that video. That little boy. I just that image is ingrained in my head. Like I said, if you are just dumbfounded or don't understand what we're going through, that video is a perfect example of what minorities and Black people are going through in this country. As always, guys, thank you for joining us. You can listen to us wherever podcasts are heard. Also, we're on YouTube under Hans and Tristan Podcast. So please subscribe, share, and like. And we're on IG as Hans and Tristan Podcast. So hit us up. You have no excuses. Let us know what you think. We're
Done.
always open to hearing from you guys. As always, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.